the advanced group where I used to teach literature and things, advanced German, that is C1. And 250, upwards of 250 sometimes at the beginner's level. Then we would sit in a huge hall at the university. That's a 500-seater hall. So I would take my classes there. All alone on the stage, 250 students ganged up, ready to ask 250 questions. But that was fun. I enjoyed those classes. Okay, jetzt. Recording hat angefangen. So, Screen Sharing jetzt. So, ich teile meinen Bildschirm. Okay, seht ihr denn meinen Bildschirm? Do you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All of you? All
Yes,
of you
sir.
visible?
Ja,
Okay. So, jetzt. Nehmen wir diesen Satz als Aussage und nicht als Frage. Das ist egal, anyway, even if you take it as a question. Stefan gibt Evi und Klaus das Buch. Also, wer gibt wem
Es.
was? Das sind die Fragen oder Fragepronomen zu den verschiedenen Teilen eines Satzes. Who is giving what to whom? Und was haben wir als Antwort? Stefan ist Subjekt. Das ist Objekt. Und das ist auch Objekt. Also vom Anfang an, was bedeutet Subjekt und Objekt? Ein Subjekt in einem Satz kann eine Person sein oder auch eine Sache sein. It can also be a thing, a non-person. For example, my phone is on the table. Mein Handy ist auf dem Tisch. So in this sentence, my phone, my mobile phone is a subject. So it can be a thing or as well as a person. How do I know it is a thing or a person? The word tells us the meaning. If you don't know the word, if you can't identify it, check the description either in a dictionary or in the context. First. Secondly, how do we know this is the subject? This is the more important question. We identifizieren wir das Subjekt. That is by this here. Das Verb. Warum das Verb und nicht die anderen Sachen? Wieder eine einfache Erklärung. Das Verb muss konjugiert werden. It has to be conjugated. Was bedeutet Konjugation? Konjugation ist die Endung, die wir einem Verb verschenken, damit es uns das Subjekt zeigt und gibt eine Erklärung über die Aktion, die das Subjekt macht. In other words, to simplify it, in English, a verb, a conjugated verb, tells us or identifies a subject. Is a singular or is a plural? And also, by its own nature, since it carries a meaning, the verb tells us exactly what that subject or subjects is doing or are doing. Let's look at this sentence here. Stefan gibt. So hier haben wir das Verb geben. We have to conjugate this. Conjugation is the ending given to a verb depending on who is performing the action. Similar laws, rules are there in all languages. In Hindi, the verb also identifies the gender of the subject. Is it a boy giving or is it a girl giving? How do I know that? If Sayali or Deepti were to use ish in Hindi, I, मैं, they will say, मैं दे रही हूँ. That E shows the feminine. If Aravindan or Manoj or Akshay were to use that, they would say, मैं दे रहा हूँ. Given is to dena, not the verb dena. मैं दे रहा हूँ, which is masculine. So Hindi has this added advantage of identifying the gender of the subject in first person. I. In Telugu, it is not possible. Whether it is a boy or a girl, the gender is not reflected in the subject nenu. Na in Tamil. Correct?
Yes, sir.
You don't know whether it is a boy or a girl, but in Hindi, you know that. See how languages which are around us are so different? Around us. In our own country. The gender is not identifiable in German. Neither is it in English. This is I give. Who is this I? A boy or a girl? Man weiß das nicht. Ich gebe. So you have to conjugate this verb. So with ich here, normally we use this E ending. Das wissen wir alle. We all know this, correct? With du,
Gibst.
gibst, and then with er,
Gibt.
S und sie, dritte Person, ist gibt. Dann kommt die Pluralform. Erste Person Plural, wir. Zweite Person Plural,
Gibt.
ihr. Und dritte Person Plural ist sie. Then there is this capital Z, which should actually be here. Zweite Person. So it should actually come here. But because this Z sounds like this Z, and geben looks like this geben, what many grammar books do is put this Z here. They're only saving space, nothing more. Nothing more. And remove it from here. Oh, Z geben. Because this is singular, Z, capital S, plural, also capital S. Since it looks like this, put it here. But remember, in writing, you have to be careful. And in speaking, don't use it without a context. Otherwise, the pronoun will be lost. You don't know where it is they or where it is you. So now we know that the subject, nominative, ich, du, er, sie, es, wir, ihr, sie, konjugiert das Verb und das Verb hängt von dem Verb ab, also von dem Subjekt ab und das Subjekt hängt von dem Verb ab. So once you know that the verb and the subject are interrelated, problem becomes clear. We are able to identify the subject here. Okay, then we come to the second part. There's one more thing I want to tell you here. I'll just mark it so I remember. So, next important thing in a sentence is the accusative object. The accusative object heißt auch das Direktobjekt, because it is the result of the action that Stefan in unserem Satz hier macht. What is it he is giving? He's giving. What is he giving? A book. Okay. So when you say Stefan gives a book, the sentence is grammatically complete. So let me offset that and start with the sentence. I have. Ich habe. Start the class today, or I start the sentence now. I say I have. Full stop. Ich habe. Is this sentence complete? Can we say I have and stop there? Was that clear? I have. Ich habe. Also ist der Satz vollständig? Is it complete grammatically? Does it make sense? Can I say
No.
or use I have in English or ich habe of Deutsch and say, okay,
We need
that completes.
the object, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes.
When context
Can
is
we?
clear,
Yeah. Yes, Aili?
when context
If
is
context is,
clear, then it's okay, I guess.
We can say it's correct.
Yeah.
yeah. Give me an example, please. Can you
For
give me ein Beispiel?
example,
Yeah.
hast du das Buch? Ja, ich habe.
Aha. Tell me in English, please.
Do you have any? Do you
Ein
have?
Moment. Ein Moment. Ja,
Do you have that book?
Do we have the book? Yes, I have. Okay.
Oh, Entschuldigung. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, kind problem, sir.
It's suddenly started pouring,
Okay.
and I had left my clothes outside. Okay, that's okay. Let's go. Yeah, hast du das Buch? Wie hat die Antwort dann? Okay. This is correct. Kylie, hast du das
Yeah.
auf der Mic?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what is the sentence in English? Yeah.
Do you have that book? Yes, I have.
Anybody else?
Do you have? Uh, do you have the book?
Mhm. That's correct.
In English or in German, sir?
Both.
Hast du das Buch? Ja, ich habe. Yes, sir. In German, correct. But in English, in question, we have to use have verb. Do
Oh,
you have?
I forgot that. Okay.
Do you have the book?
Okay.
Yes, sir. It's complete.
Now
Correct.
complete. Okay. What do the others say? Arvindan, was sagst du?
Hast du das Buch?
Hmm?
Ja, ich habe.
Mhm.
That's correct, sir.
Mhm.
Do you have the book? Yes, yes, I have. Is also correct.
Okay.
Direct, like
Yeah.
face-to-face talk.
Okay. So what do the others say? Deepti, what mines do?
Yes, sir.
Both correct?
I'm not sure, sir. So,
Yeah. Because I asked you this question here and I've extended that here. So are these two words here. I have und ich habe. Are they complete as a sentence? Auf Deutsch und auf Englisch. I have. Ich habe.
9, sir.
Nein? Both not
Sentence
complete?
is not complete.
Warum nicht?
Sir Kanish,
Ja, bitte.
Darfish. Sir,
Bitte.
in German, I think we have to say, ja, ich habe ein Buch.
Aha.
Oder ich habe das. Ja,
Ich
ich
habe
habe das.
das, ja. If we have to not use Norman, then ja, ich habe das. Oder ich habe
So,
es.
ich habe, also ich habe, full stop is not possible.
Nein, Sir.
Okay? So you have to say either S or das or something.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Ja.
What
Okay.
about English?
English, I think that would do. Yes, I have.
Do the others agree with the opinion of Siley and Deepti?
Yes, sir. In German, I
Ja.
agree.
So ich habe is wrong. Yeah? You agree? So here, hast du das Buch ich habe is not right.
Yes.
I have to say ich habe es. Correct? Now it is correct. Hast du das Buch? Ja, ich hab's. Ich habe es. But in English, do you have the book? Yes, I have. That's correct.
Yes, sir. In
Yes.
English, yes, I have correct.
So in English, you can say I have, but in German, you cannot say ich habe. You have to complete the sentence. Agree? All of you
Yes, sir.
agree on this?
Yeah.
Well done. It only shows me now, I'm very happy, very happy to note that your German is excellent, your English is Quatsch. Your English is not. This is wrong. You can't use I have in English. The phrase I have does not exist on its own. You have to put something after it. I'll come to that in a minute. I'm not teaching you English. I'll just show you why it is wrong and also why you should not use English to learn German. The question is, do you have a book? The answer is, I do. Yes, I do, not yes, I have.
Yes, I do.
Yes,
Can
sir,
we
you are
end
right.
up like that? Yes, I do, or do we
That's
have to extend?
perfect English.
Okay, sir. No, sir.
Not
I'm
yes, I
just
have.
asking.
Yes, I do
Yes,
have.
I do have the
Perfect,
book, or
absolutely correct English.
yes, I do have the book, or not required.
Not necessary. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Stop
Yes,
it here.
yes, sir. Right.
That's it. But you cannot say, yes, I have. The verb in the sentence is do, not have. Have you seen English films? Or do you watch English films?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
And in the films, have you ever seen a marriage scene in a church?
हाँ
Sometimes.
हाँ
Yes.
सर उसमें they ask
Uh,
then
do you, Maria, take this man,
Yes.
John, as your husband?
Yes, I do. Yes,
Yeah.
they
Yes,
use
I do.
then they
Do
say
you
yes I do.
take this girl, Maria, as your wife? Yes, I do. They don't say,
Yes.
yes, I take.
Yeah.
The verb is do.
You are right, sir. And Zumbai spell, can you hear me? Yes, I can. Not I hear. Yeah.
Please do not use English to learn German because our English is not as good as we think it is. Don't use English. We are here to learn German and not English. Now that that matter is cleared up, we come back to the sentence here. Ich habe auf Deutsch ist auch unvollständig, incomplete. I can't simply walk into a classroom and say, ich habe, hast du? Does it make sense? Either of them?
No.
I have. Do you have?
I have. Have you?
No. There should be pronoun or something.
So there has to be something to complete the sentence. That's
Yeah.
something that is needed to complete the sentence is called an object. Because that sentence is not complete without that object, it is needed directly in the sentence. It's called a direct object. And the direct object is also then called sometimes, or by different books, different names, accusative object. They're both synonyms. Because an accusative object completes a sentence. So if I have Efi und Klaus here, and I make this small, Stefan gibt ein Buch. It makes sense. Sentence is grammatically complete. Let me put it the other way around. Why this is important? Stefan gibt Efi und Klaus. Was?
No, sir.
Was?
Incomplete.
So
Was.
you have to say ein Buch, isn't it? So the direct object is a more important one. So wenn wir sagen, Stefan gibt ein Buch, Stefan kauft ein Buch, Stefan liest ein Buch, also solange wir ein Akkusativ Objekt in einem Satz haben, dann ist der Satz vollständig und grammatisch richtig. What about this one here? Efi und Klaus. Das ist die sogenannte Extra-Information in dem Satz. Extra information. So it's not actually needed in the sentence. It is why it's called the indirect object oder dative object in einem Satz.
Sir, my question is that how we can identify this?
Very easy. Your questions are here. Your answer is here. Here's your answer. By the questions itself. How do you open the lock, main lock of your door?
By key.
Which key? The cupboard key or the door key?
The door key.
So there are different keys for both, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So there are different keys here for the accusative object. The key for the accusative object is the question was. The key for the dative object is the question main. You can't use the same key for both, identifying both objects. To identify a subject, we have a different key. There you are, problem solved.
Yes.
Look around you for examples and analogies and comparisons. Don't say, sir, don't do my तारीफ. Sir, that was brilliant. कोई brilliant नहीं है. ये अपने चारों ओर है. Anybody can think of these examples like these. Anyone. How do I know this key fits here? Try it. Will it go in? It doesn't. Because I can only identify a thing, a direct object here. What? Here with this, I can only identify whom, to whom. That brings us to the second part of the question. Ein Dativ Objekt, bitte noch einmal, ich wiederhole und ich wiederhole ganz, ganz, ganz langsam. Ein Dativobjekt ist immer eine Person. Please note. A dative object is always a person. You cannot have a thing here. Not possible. Not possible. It must be a person.
Dative object always be in person.
Yes.
Okay.
Always. When there are two objects in a sentence, the thing, non-person, is accusative, the person is the dative.
Sir, if there is only one object and if it
Yes.
is a person, then it is a direct object.
Indirect object.
Indirect object, that would be dative.
So sorry, dative. Yeah, indirect object. Yeah.
Why? Because that verb does not allow an accusative object.
Okay.
Take the sentence. Why did I use meinem Bruder?
Because gefallen is a dative verb.
Why is it dative? Why not accusative?
सर आई डोंट नो दिस बिकॉज हमें बताया नहीं गया था ये चीज ये डाटिव है या accusative क्यों है.
सोच के बताओ. Who taught you German? German किससे सीखी है?
सर देवकरण सर से.
अरे यार, देव को फिर मैं बाद में नंबर पे लूंगा.
सर
Dev is my student. He should have known this. He should have explained this to you. पूछता हूँ उसको क्यों नहीं बताया. I taught him German, so he should have told you because I shared my knowledge with him. So he should share that knowledge again with the others. What is the meaning of gefallen? Was heißt denn gefallen?
Like, to like.
like
Or like.
To like.
Yeah, that's why you're mistaken. To like गलत है. To be liked.
like करना.
Tell me in Hindi or any other language. Deepthi, tell me in Telugu. Aravindan, tell me in Tamil. The others tell me in Hindi. What is gefallen?
To be like.
अच्छी लगना या
अच्छा लगना. ठीक है, ठीक है.
मराठी में आवडणे.
हाँ. Deepthi, Aravindan.
விருப்பமான.
Okay. Deepthi.
Ishtapadam. Yes.
Yeah, ishtam or ishtapadam. Hindi.
Yes.
Tell me in Hindi.
अच्छा लगना सर.
अच्छा लगना. तो अच्छा लगना. अच्छा, my टीवी जो है मुझको बहुत पसंद करता है. मेरा टीवी जो है ना मुझको बहुत पसंद करता है.
नहीं सर वो सेंस अलग हो गया.
Why not भाई? बड़ा है. मैं टीवी मेरे को पसंद करता है. मुझको देखते ही बोलता है हेलो आ गए चालू हो जाऊं.
Nice.
What is this pasandana? Is it not a human element? Is it not an emotion which only humans can express?
Yes, sir.
Think.
It may be, sir, Falan.
Falan alag hai, gefalan alag hai.
Maybe.
Sir, all these verbs are connected to humans like
Super.
shinken,
Super.
denken.
Gratulieren,
Gratulieren. Well
Gehor,
done.
Gehoren.
Gehören. Super. Well done. So there are a certain set of verbs. Es gibt einige Verben, die immer mit den menschlichen Gefühlen assoziiert werden. There are some verbs which are associated only with human, feelings and emotions. Because that feeling and emotion cannot be attached to a thing. A table, for example, cannot say, the leg belongs to me. ये मेरी टांग है, टूट गई है, ठीक करवा दीजिए. Call a carpenter. That table cannot say that. I can say that. But I won't say call a carpenter if my leg is broken. I'll say please call a doctor. So when you say belong to, this is something only a human can express. I congratulate you. आपको, तुमको. आपको, तुमको, उनको, मुझको, उसको. So what is the ending I'm using here in Hindi? Ko, isn't it? Right?
Yes, sir.
What-
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hai.
A similar ending will be there in Telugu. Deepti, think of it. A similar ending should be there in Tamil also. Arvindan, yanakku.
எனக்கு பிடித்திருக்கு.
K is a key word, the sound. K.
Yeah.
Ku in Telugu. Naku.
Yes, sir.
Miku. Miku. Unko. Usko. So whenever you have this ko, ku, ki, k endings in Indian languages, there will be a dative object. Furthermore, the same k, ku ending is used in Swahili, a language spoken in Africa also. So it's very easy to identify the dative object. And that should answer your question, how do I know which key to use? The shape of the key sometimes tells you. So the shape of this, the question tells you. The shape of that emotion tells you. It's some emotion connected with humans, something that you are giving. Similarly, like somebody said just now, schenken. You use the verb schenken. Ich schenke dem Freund ein Buch. I'm presenting. What are you presenting? A book. Sentence grammatically complete. I'm presenting a book. Oh, lovely. But I'm presenting a book to whom? To my bookshelf. Can I present a book to my bookshelf? I mean, will my bookshelf say to me, thank you?
No.
So this present of a book can be given only to a person. Dative. So Schenken takes two objects, accusative and dative. So most verbs, they come with two objects. There are a few verbs that come only with dative. Like we just saw, gefallen. Okay, jetzt weiter. Wir machen weiter mit diesem Thema. Und zwar, let's go on. I'll give you 4 sentences. Now you have to tell me what they mean. So we have our first sentence here, oben. What is the difference in these sentences? Is there a difference or no difference? And there is a rule here. Can you tell me the rule? What is the first rule? You know this, so don't get nervous. And it's visible in front of you.
Verb positions why?
Hmm?
Verb second form क्या
Yeah,
नीचे
das ist immer an der zweiten Stelle. So that's okay, that's known.
Schenken mit person.
Nay, I'm looking at the elements in the sentence, the different words in the sentence. What is placed to where? That rule I'm interested in.
Where,
pronoun.
when, was.
Always? Always?
Nouns are replaced.
Ha.
Noun names.
Ha.
Nouns are replaced by pronoun.
Okay. But no klarer bitte. You'll have to tell me more clearly.
Nouns has replaced by a personal pronoun.
Yeah.
Personal. Person.
So what comes where? Das ist die Frage. Was kommt wohin? Oder was steht wo?
Subject.
Subjekt ist ich.
Yeah.
It's right in front of you. Alle drei Regeln stehen vor uns. Ich brauche drei Regeln. 3 rules I need from these 4 sentences.
Article in front of. Object.
Arvindan? Yeah?
Possessive article in front of object.
Personal pronoun.
First.
Personal pronoun in front of noun.
Yeah, now.
Which sentence? 2 or 3? Or both?
2, 3, 4.
4, where is the noun in 4?
2, 3, sir.
2, 3,
2,
2, 3.
2, 3.
And first also. 1, 2, 3.
Come on. This should have been explained to you and told to you. I think I'll have to speak to some of your teachers now. With Dave, I can have a word easily. He will understand. War ein guter Student von mir. Der ist immer noch ein guter Student. He's still a good student. So I'll have a word with him.
Verb is followed by personal pronoun.
Yeah. Yes, Eileen.
Yeah, verb is followed by personal pronoun.
But where is the personal pronoun here?
No, on 2, 3, 4 sentence.
A dative noun before the accusative noun. That's the rule. Rule number, this is sentence number 1. Now sentence number 4. And the last rule. Apply them. A dative noun will always come before an accusative noun. Also, anders gesagt, wenn beide Objekte Nomen sind, and both the objects are nouns, the indirect object, also das Dativobjekt, steht vor dem Akkusativobjekt. Rule number 1. This is A1, German A1 rule. Rule number 2. If you convert both into pronouns, if you say convert both the verbs into pronouns, then your dative will change to the second position. That is sentence number 4 here. If both the objects are pronouns, ich schenke es ihm, not ihm es. This is absolute Quatsch. It is absolute nonsense. Such a sentence does not exist. So ich schenke es ihm, ich schenke ihm. You have to be very careful about what to put where. And if one object is a pronoun, the other object is a noun. So here, dative pronoun, accusative noun. Accusative pronoun, dative noun. So the rule, a pronoun always comes before a noun. Also, man kann nicht sagen, ich schenke das Buch ihm. Falsch. Ich schenke dem Freund es. Falsch. Es dem Freund oder ihm das Buch. So ein Pronomen kommt immer vor dem Nomen. Habt ihr Fragen? Any questions here? Hat jemand Fragen? We are revising
Nine,
A1,
sir.
A1 German, and the same topic is there in the book that I will share with you very soon as the first lesson. The same revision is there in that also. That book I told you about, B1 Plus. I'm surprised you people have not been made aware of this. This is B2, when we should not be making mistakes here as to where to put the objects in a sentence. You can't put them at random. Chalo, I feel like putting accusative here today. Today is what, Thursday? Yeah, Thursday is a nice day. I Lodi hai. So let me put accusative object before dative object. Nahi chalega. This is fixed in German. And dative Nomen kommt or steht immer vor dem Akkusativ Nomen. Immer. Please remember these rules. And that is exactly what I am practicing here. Or to put this in smaller words here,
Accusative pronomen पहले आएगा.
what is the accusative here? Das Buch.
Das Buch.
And ihnen, to them, unko, dritte Person. To whom? To Ephraim Klaus, plural. To ihnen. Similarly, we did this yesterday. Ja, sie schenkt. Who is this sie?
Unsere Mutter.
What is she presenting?
Diese Uhr.
Sie.
Ja.
Accusative. To whom?
Unserem Vater. Ihm.
This also I solved for you yesterday. Könnt ihr, ja, wir. Könnt ihr, subject, object. Ja, wir können, subject, object. Conjugation I found. What? S to you. Auto, das Auto. S. Mir, yes, dir. What about this one now? Erhala, können Sie, ab. So the answer, ja, ich kann. Was? Mr. Hala, can you answer our questions? Can you answer us our questions? Yeah, I can answer you your questions, or I can answer you or whatever. English mein nahi baithega ye. I'll have to change the thing in English and you'll be confused. So tell me from German. Was sagen wir hier? Unsere Fragen. This is the accusative object in the question. So what pronoun do I put here? Accusative plural.
Sir, can you zoom it a little bit?
Gleich unsere Frage.
No noun, only pronoun.
Uns. Sir, uns.
No.
Euch.
Euch is correct from the meaning, but not from logic. It's wrong.
Okay.
Do you remember this table?
Ihnen.
Yeah?
Ihnen.
Wrong. You're not looking at it carefully.
Ihre.
Ich kann sie beantworten.
सर ये समझ में नहीं आया फोर्थ वाला कैसे मतलब
Is it formal or informal?
Formal.
फॉर्मल
What is this Z?
Un.
Right? Are you okay here so far? Unsere Fragen is the accusative object. Our questions, them. You have to replace the whole thing with a personal pronoun, please. If you use a possessive pronoun, you will have to use a noun. I cannot ask you a question with a possessive pronoun without a noun. So how is your doing? Your is a possessive pronoun, isn't it? So after that, I need a noun. Do you know I've used a possessive pronoun, but I'm not using that noun after that. Do you know, can you understand the meaning of the question?
Yes, sir. Possessive pronoun needs a noun.
So I am replacing this entire possessive pronoun with a personal pronoun. The personal pronoun is sie, them. Our questions, yeah, I can answer them. Ich kann sie beantworten. But answer them to whom?
Z.
To us. So in the answer, the question will be, can you answer them to us? Yes, I can answer them to you. Is this formal or informal?
Formal.
So since it is formal, this is the one that you need, not Ihnen. Beantworten takes accusative. Accusative. Second person. Accusative. Sie. We'll discuss this tomorrow. इसको आगे लेंगे बाद में. Let's do away with this. I think it's enough. As long as you remember this, it should be okay. I wanted to do a small quiz program with you, and also planned an audio for you today. To play a small audio and see how much you understand. But this market mehr than Morgan. कोई बात नहीं. It's time for my next class, so I'll have to take leave. It's going to begin in 5 minutes. So Morgan is Sankranti. So is it celebrated by all of you at home in the Imphal?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Montag. If tomorrow is a celebration, is a festival, and you are unable to come, then we will meet on Monday. Kein Problem.
Sir,
Okay.
ich habe keine Problem. Ich kann das nach Unterricht feiern.
Yeah, das ist okay. Aber Arvindan, Akshay, Diti, Manoj, was sagt ihr? Kal Sankranti hai, festival hai.
Ich habe 2 Tage Ferien. Sir. Morgen und
Also wir treffen nicht morgen.
Ja,
Is that
ja.
what we want?
Ja.
Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah, sir.
Klar है.
Diti says, yeah, Arvindan, yeah, Akshay, Manoj, तो कल नहीं मिलेंगे.
सर कुछ होमवर्क दे दो.
अरे जो है वो बहुत है. Enjoy your festival. Homework बाद में.
Yes.
No stress, no strain. Take it easy. Haben viel zu tun, aber später.
Yeah.
Saturday को
नहीं, Saturday नहीं.
So normally we
Montag
we
bis
are
Freitag. Montag bis
Montag bis
Freitag.
Freitag.
Yeah,
Okay.
Montag bis Freitag. Don't worry, we can catch up. Don't worry about the small issues.
Klar है.
Remember, India, Indian culture, our family is important to us.
Yes.
So we can make these small adjustments and sacrifices. So we will now meet on Monday. Okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
So wish you all a happy Sankranti.
Happy Sankranti, sir.
Happy
Happy
Sankranti.
Pongal. Happy Pongal, Arvindan.
Thank you, sir. Happy Pongal.
Happy
Happy
Pongal,
Sankranti
everyone.
too. Thank you.
En
Happy
Sankranti.
Sankranti.
Thank you so much. Wir treffen uns wieder am Montag die normale Zeit, ne? Übliche
Oh.
Zeit, the usual time.
Yeah.
So have a nice day, have a nice weekend,
Yeah.
relax, enjoy. Und
Schönes
no Ablenkung
Wochenende.
in der Welt. Ja, schönes Wochenende. Danke.
Danke, sir. Tschüss. Tschüss.
Tschüss dann.
Bis
Ja,
auf
tschüss.
Wiedersehen.
Wiedersehen.
Wiedersehen.